Despite YouTube doing all but destroying the genre after the Logan Paul scandal in 2018, true crime has managed to adapt and overcome draconian censorship to appease advertisers. Thankfully, the true crime genre is still surviving on YouTube, even though it has been drastically watered down. I have included a list of the best true crime creators on YouTube. This is in no particular order, as each channel is unique in its own way. Rob Gavigan. Perhaps no one was hit harder with the new YouTube censorship post 2017/2018. Ridiculously, he even had to change his name from Rob Dyke to Rob Gavigan, as the word dyke, being a slur against lesbians, was flagged up for demonetization every time he posted.
Not Rob Dyke anymore. What the hell happened? Who was Rob Gavigan? Which a lot of you have wondered how to pronounce Gavigan. Gavigan, just like that. So anyway, YouTube was targeting my last name as a slur, which it was. So they decided to demonetize videos and whatnot based on the fact that I had my name in the video description, the metadata and all that. So I decided to go ahead and change my name.
Undoubtedly, Rob has the best voiceover and presentation in the genre.
Eyes are the window to the soul. They are a muse for artists and poets alike. However, for one killer, his obsession with eyes would strike fear among the women working the streets of Dallas, Texas. It quickly became clear someone was hunting vulnerable women and taking sadistic trophies from each victim.
His previous work was particularly disturbing, keeping you engrossed in gore. However, many of these videos have been obliterated by YouTube's mass censorship program. At his peak, he had an incredible team behind him of editors and researchers. However, demonetization hit him hard, and the channel did not consistently post for a while. It seems they have gained sponsorship, and more disturbing content is once again being produced without having to rely on YouTube's advertisers.
A sponsor came to me recently to sponsor this video, which they did, but that's not all. The owner of this company happens to be a big fan of my channel and has been for a long time, for years. He knows the climate of YouTube, he knows it's been difficult for me to put out content due in part to losing money, and he wants to help me to be able to make more content for all of you and to get back on my feet. To do this, he wants to work together long-term with sponsorships, but also other projects that we've discussed that could bring my channel back to life. This is a huge opportunity, and he's a dedicated viewer like so many of you. He wants to see me return to regularly producing content, so I hope you'll hear me out and take advantage of his amazing business called Wicked Clothes. To show him the kind of power you all have, the taste you have in awesome clothes, and the desire you have to bring my content back to a regular schedule, without needing to worry so much about YouTube demonetizing me.
Emma Kenny. True crime TV star Emma Kenny has broken her way into YouTube with a bang. Without a doubt, she has the most in-depth, well-researched videos on true crime on YouTube. She is able to use her industry connections as a former TV presenter and writer to bring new life to even old and stale topics. I also believe her passion radiates off her when she talks.
Today I'm going to be covering a case that you guys asked me to do. In fact, I've got a massive list. I'll be here in 100 years still doing it because the list is so long. But this one is on BTK. So, because you asked, I have decided to cover it. I know it's been covered in lots of other areas by lots of other YouTubers, but why not give you my take on a crime that terrorized Wichita, an area of Kansas, for over 30 years. 30 years! That man got away, literally, with murder. That's insane, isn't it? that somebody can literally get away with 10 murders over 30 years. And seemingly, if it hadn't have been for a little mistake that he made at the very end of it, chances are he would have got away with it full stop.
Her video editor makes incredible intros for every story, and although they do little else, Emma is extremely engaging when the camera is on her. Emma is also able to give scientific credibility into her evaluation of crime and criminals, as she is a renowned psychologist. Obsolete Oddity. Obsolete Oddity is a unique true crime channel focusing on old historical cases. This channel is largely for the more sophisticated viewer who enjoys intellectually scripted videos. The editing is also impressive as the classical theme is continued with vintage style posters and photography. It is also refreshing to hear someone talk with a refined and calm voice rather than relying on the over-the-top, hyper YouTube voice.
Pretty Dulcie Markham didn't choose to be Australia's most notorious gangster mole. That life chose her, or so she would claim. Many men in relationships with her ended up in an early grave in gangland killings. So much so that the press dubbed her the Angel of Death.
The high-class voiceover reflects the channel and perfectly accompanies the topics covered. Obsolete Oddity brings new life to forgotten crimes of the past. Dark Curiosity. By far the best true crime YouTuber in Scotland. As someone who has struggled to adapt their accent to be more understandable to a global audience, it is impressive to see them do this with ease.
Other than this, there was no trace of the 16-year-old schoolgirl. A missing persons report was subsequently filed. 5 days after Lily disappeared on the 10th of October at around midday, two 12-year-old Boy Scouts who were orienteering in the Marbeck Dune plantation area near Esbjerg discovered the decomposing body of a young female under a pine tree.
Each case is very well researched and scripted, and the channel merges classical true crime stories of the past with modern cases. The branding is impressively uniform and the video editing is excellent. That chapter is extremely consistent in their uploads, covering a multitude of true crime cases. The little editing of each video means topics can be covered quickly and consistently, meaning a wealth of content. Despite the consistency, the topics are well researched and scripted. The videos largely rely on the presenter talking to camera instead of complex editing. However, the presenting itself is highly engaging, with the stories being told in a captivating manner. Also, the presenter still somehow manages to inject humour into these dark topics.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this old video, we're off once again, right? This time to Chicago. Finally, I know. To look at a story that is just... I mean, it's absolutely... running out of adjectives here that I haven't used before. It's mad. This one is twisting. It's got love triangles. Actually, more like a love hexadecagon. Yeah, I had to Google it too. And it revolves around an ex-NFL player. Sean Gale played for Da Bears for most of his career. And the people he met in that city, the city that never sleeps... Oh wait, no, it's... No wait, it's windy there. Somebody should think of a name for that. One of the people he met was the yang to his yin. Or at least, that's what, she thought.
The topics covered range from mainstream true crime stories to more uncommon cases. This is Monsters.
This is Monsters.
This is Monsters covers more obscure crimes than the mainstream. yet they are able to make each tale fascinating without relying on the grim crimes of, say, a Ted Bundy or a Jeffrey Dahmer. The voiceover is smooth, easy to follow, and the facts are broken down into easily digestible snippets. The presenter started the channel after first experimenting with podcasting. This is shown by how comfortable the presenter is with their voiceover.
I'm here to do an update on my channel, and I want to start off by thanking everybody who's subscribed and watched my videos and supported the channel. I honestly only started this YouTube channel to give people another way to consume my podcast, which was audio only at the time, but things kind of took off and I'm rolling with it now, trying to do as much as I can to make the videos better and put out more content.
The storytelling skills are evident throughout, and it's hard not to become engrossed in the cases.
Martin Bryant grew up a troubled kid who was never really able to get other people to understand him. After consecutive tragedies left him with too much money and not enough supervision, he decided that the world was against him and needed to be punished. This is Monsters.
Stephanie Harlow. Much like Emma Kenny, Stephanie Harlow does an incredible amount of research for each video. It is apparent that she goes much further than checking mainstream online sources and gathers intel from books, police reports and more. An incredibly diligent channel that has covered a vast array of cases. Almost any case you can think of has been covered, including even topics of war crimes from World War II. As you may expect from someone whose channel started out as a beauty channel, her appearance is immaculate, which aids her skill as a presenter.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and thank you for joining me for today's video, which is the first part of a series based on serial killer Dennis Nilsen. He confessed to murdering 15 to 16 young men between 1978 and 1983.